Hello and welcome to the second episode of the second edition of Silent Switch Podcast. I'm your co-host, Latrell. I'm here today with just Julian. I got Sam couldn't make it, man, but we're gonna keep pushing along, man. How you feeling though, Julian?
Feeling good, man. It's Monday, just trying to get things going. Just trying to keep that podcast moving. So like we said, we're gonna be consistent. So I'm happy to be here. How you feeling today?
I feel good, man. I had a decent Easter Sunday, man. Worked last night and whatnot, but it's cool, man. I feel good, well rested, ready to hop into the podcast, man, and do what we do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I said it was a great Easter Sunday, being able to relax and everything. Real cool. Nice. So as always, good to start the week off with a holiday. So
exactly,
cool.
Man. Exactly. I just wish I could have got holiday pay for that, man, which is crazy.
Oh yeah,
for the government, but they don't want to give us holiday pay for Good Friday, Easter, man.
They should double the pay. They should definitely double it up.
That's what I was saying, man. It's a holiday. It's like I feel like that's a infringement on my First Amendment right. You know what I mean? Like practice my religion.
Yeah. Somebody told me. I called somebody one of my coworkers today. I was like, "Hey, man, like today Monday." This name's like, "Hey, it's Easter Monday." I'm like, "Easter Monday?" What? I'm like, "I know Easter Sunday." He's like, "Yeah, Easter Monday is a part of Easter Sunday." We just keep the week, the little break going. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man, we started doing it actually, man. You know how they made June, was it 16th or 18th, the actual holiday? We do the same thing with Easter Monday, man.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Monday, man. Yeah, I love that. A 4-day weekend, that'd be nice.
That'd be real nice.
But man, like we said earlier, we're missing our third co-host. We're gonna pull one out for Sam right now, man. Yeah. Sam, you watching this on YouTube, online, on Spotify, whatever, man. Hey, we miss you, man. Hope everything's good with you, big dog. But we're gonna keep it moving. So today on this episode, we're gonna talk about things that both of us been kind of discussing pretty much for a while now of things that kind of we feel like are important to us for our mental health and spiritual well-being. So one of those things is gratitude. We always talk about being grateful, and what God allows us to do is be grateful and have that gratitude for life and things of that nature. So we want to dive into that. Another thing we really want to speak on today, man, is vulnerability. Being open. You know what I mean? Not just open with people around you, but with yourself, which I feel like is very important. The last thing we're gonna hit on, man, we're gonna talk about being present. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like being present. Like instead of worrying about the past, the future, you just focus on now. Like what's happening right now at the exact moment. You know what I mean?
Definitely, you're right about that.
Those three topics we want to hit on, man. So
you said what? Yeah. Definitely, I think those three topics would be perfect. It's something that we always talked about, just constantly, being present in the day. And I'm excited just to talk more about it. And just that vulnerability piece, like you said earlier, is crazy because people like intimidated, scared to be, vulnerable to themselves, but also to God and also to, to others. Because, yeah.
Bro, I feel like that's such a big thing, man. That's something I had to learn for myself, man, how to be vulnerable with myself. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it actually is easier to be vulnerable with other people than it is with yourself because you gotta sit back and have those really deep introspective thoughts, like why am I this way? You know what I mean? Like, why am I this way? I feel like that's the key to really building yourself up. First, you got to break yourself down. To really build something strong and have that strong foundation, man. So I feel like it's really a good thing to have, man.
I definitely like how you just said, like, build your ask yourself, like, why am I this way? And it's like if you like looking in the mirror or something like that, and you like, I know it's kind of weird, but you look at yourself like, why am I this way? Like, why am I? what's going on? But it's kind of like it's like you talking to somebody else. You actually talking, to yourself in the mirror, or just in general. It really do help you actually kind of reflect and actually kind of make a difference. Because if you don't do that, then you'll kind of just be like, well, I'm gonna stay this way because I don't know which way I am. But if you actually talk about it and actually like be vulnerable to yourself and like actually try to understand yourself, which is the biggest thing you said is vulnerability. And a part of vulnerability is just kind of being open and accepting. Of yourself. So if you like, well, why am I being vulnerable? Why am I going to be vulnerable? Because if you're vulnerable, then you're able to learn a newer version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Are you able to become have a better understanding of yourself that you didn't have before? And I think that's what happens. That's what happens in time. You know, time it happens. I feel like people just kind of get stuck and go, well, I'll just stay this way. If you're vulnerable, then you'll be able to turn to a new person, you know?
And that's the scary part, though. Like, a lot of people don't want to do that because you actually have to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can't be like, this part of myself I don't like. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with that part. You know, it's cool. Yeah. Or you want to, like, distance yourself from that. That's not me. That's not who I am. But really and truly, it is you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But to really, you know, grow past it, you got to accept it, man.
Yeah.
Is that the, like, you ever heard of the 5 stages of grief? You know, you have, you help me on that.
Oh, yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
You got denial. You have grief. You have denial. You have 3 in the middle. But the last part is acceptance.
Yeah.
That's the part. You know, when you're going through grief, as soon as you got to accept it. It says what it is. I feel sad. I'm hurt. I'm depressed. You gotta accept that. Because if you don't accept it, it's gonna be there's like a gunshot wound. You know what I mean? Like you got shot, you're like, man, I'm good, bro. Like it just grazed me, man. I'm fine. If you don't accept that your ass got shot, you gotta go to the doctor to get that gunshot wound fixed. It's gonna get worse and worse. I mean, it's gonna sit there and fester.
Yeah, you're right about that. Because I was actually seeing this thing on YouTube, and this dude was talking about just accepting something, accepting, you know, anything that's happened before in your life. You know what I'm saying? And it was like this dude was talking about, it was like something I saw like on LinkedIn or something, and he was like a soccer, right? And I guess it was like something where he like the game winning goal like got blocked, and it was his goal, and he just felt like it was like carried with him for like so long that it kind of once that one thing happened in his life, it kind of controlled his whole life. You know what I'm saying? But I think him being able to be, I think eventually, like he said, like him being able to be vulnerable with himself and saying like this had such an impact on me. That is control, you know what I'm saying? It may have controlled relationships, or I may have controlled, you know, even how I thought about, you know, soccer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing is like all those things are connected together, that vulnerability, that acceptance. And over time, that stuff eventually, you know, if you tackle it over time, it eventually becomes like, you know, like a new normal, you know, you kind of overcome those things.
Yeah. And you're able to possibly able to turn that weakness into a strength too. I know for me, one of my biggest weaknesses, like growing up and kind of still recently, is like public speaking. You know what I mean? Like, I got better at that as I got older. But I remember I was a kid, man, I used to hate public speaking. I used to get so nervous and afraid because I didn't want to look stupid. But I never really understood why I was like so afraid to, you know, speak in public and things like that. It was so bad at one point. I used to hate like being called on class to read. I'm like, man, don't call on me. So I just didn't want to see like, you know, you start stuttering or you mess up a word. Like, this motherfucker.
You know that's how you know that's how we grow up. Like it's like black males, or just in general in school. Like, you know, you want to raise your hand, then like you raise your hand and you say the word wrong or something like that. Everybody start laughing at you. So that kind of creates that vulnerability. You know, it kind of creates that afraid. You know, kind of being afraid at a young age.
Yeah,
we don't realize how long it stays with us forever.
It does though, bro. Like childhood trauma is really how you like they form the backbone of who you are as you grow older. You know what I mean? You think back, like, dang, like why am I afraid of public speaking? You know, you think back. Wait a minute, I remember that time in 3rd grade, I had to do a class presentation.
And little Chris started laughing at you.
Chris started laughing. No, like, never take the class again. But as you get older, you forget about that. Like, it's just in the back of your subconscious. Like, man, I'm afraid of. Wow, I know I can speak. I know I can speak well. Why am I afraid? But until you're able to be vulnerable and open with yourself, like, man, like you start really questioning yourself. You look back, you start going back all those different scenarios you had in your life. And you really determine, like, okay, this is where that came from. You're like, okay, that's fine, but I'm not my 3rd grade self anymore. I'm a grown man now.
You're a grown man now. I look totally different.
Little Chris, man, what are you talking about?
Little Chris, a grown man now. Still, if you raise your hand, you're going to clown.
Exactly. You're ready to accept yourself, but until you do put in that hard work of like sitting down and being self-reflective and really digging into why you are the way you are, you can't do that work.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, it carries over time, like that vulnerability. I mean, those things, those traumatic events carry over time with you. And like, you just don't even know, like, you so intimidated by it, you just like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, right now, I know the answer to this question. I remember, like, I was a freshman in college, and professor, like, said something, I knew the answer to it. Like I was the first one. I was like, I know it. Everybody just went silent. I'm like, bro, I should raise my hand right now. But I'm like, man, I don't want to sound, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm not even going to do it, you know? But then as you get older now, you're like, you know, you can go back. You go, like, look, don't do it. Like, be vulnerable. Like, do it. Like, don't be afraid. Raise your hand. You know, don't be afraid to ask a question. I mean, even that vulnerability, another piece of that vulnerability, things flew from in front of me, but a piece of that vulnerability is, you know, I think the big piece about vulnerability is like just being able to like ask questions. Yeah. Like, say that you don't know something, you know, say that you like have never, you know, saying never experienced something, you know, you never done something before, or you never learned it, you know. And I definitely think, as you know, I'm kind of going to like, you know, us as Black males is saying like, with us is that vulnerability is like sometimes, you know, we're so strong, you know, so we're strong. We want to seem strong, things like that. But being able to like just be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I never learned how to do this. You know what I'm saying? It might sound goofy, but you're like, yo, I never know how to do this, or I never learned how to, you know, deal with my emotions, or how to, you know, even, you know, how to, you know, treat somebody a certain way. And I think that's a huge piece of that vulnerability is like being able to do that. What you think about that?
Bro, that's literally, you know, what I came to realize, man, as I got older about that. Because I like what you talked about, like how we always feel like we have to portray the image of strength. And I want to emphasize portray. Because inside we know we don't feel that strong. Like, man, you know, I'm a strong man. You know, I don't feel nothing. I ain't got no emotion. You know, nothing you say faze me. You know what I mean? But like, I know I was reading this philosophy of Taoism. They said one of the biggest things of that, you know, strength, actually being weak sometimes can lead to strength. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be weak sometimes. You don't always have to be strong. Like, you can find strength in your weakness. Because, like you said, like, until you're ready to really open up and, you know, analyze yourself and say, like, okay, I'm weak in this area. How you gonna get help with that? How somebody will help you manage your emotions if you don't say, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. You want to keep portraying like I know what I'm doing. I got this. Okay, you got this. They're not going to want to help you. You know, a closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I mean? So until you really ready to sit down and acknowledge all this faults you have, man, you can't work on that. I know for me, I had to really sit down and like, you know, accept where I'm at in life. You know, you know, I have some issues I want to work on, some things I feel like I'm lacking in, and I can improve on. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I had to really. I had to be vulnerable myself to allow myself to do that. It's scary. Then you have to look at yourself like, damn, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. I'm not the man I thought I was. You know what I mean? Like I'm broken in some ways, and that's okay. Like I said, once you accept that, you realize it's okay to be like. A lot of people are broken. A lot of people don't know themselves. A lot of people trying to.
Bro, that's something you hit on, bro. There's so many people in this world who try to portray as being like this perfect person, and it's just like. You're not. You got to be honest with yourself. You know, part of that vulnerability is being honest with yourself, like we said earlier. Because, like, you know, for me, it's funny that you say that because I was like, for me, it'd be like I always say, like, it's the simplest things that we think that we are like so like, you know, we want to keep to ourselves, right? So, like, something as simple as I can even say, like, with my father, like, something as simple as like, yo, let him know, like, hey, I'm be honest with you, I'll be so like, I don't even know. I don't even know how to cut the grass a certain way. Like how you cut the grass a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, how do you start? You know, I know I started fire on like, you know, when you cooking or something, like cooking on the grill or something. But I'm like, hey, how do you do this? You know, just asking those questions. Yeah. But like, you know, for some people, like, man, I ain't finna ask that. I ain't finna look like I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where that person might even laugh at you, but that person would be like, yo, at least, you know, you being honest, you know what I'm saying?
And they understand. If you don't know, you don't know. Like, what's the harm in asking? You know what I mean? I feel that, bro. I was the same way. You know, for a while, bro, I used to hate, you know, how, like somebody tell you do something and like repeat directions to you. And for me, I was so like to the point I didn't want to seem stupid. I'll be like, I might forget something like that. I want to ask repeat something like that. I want to seem like I'm retarded. Like, man, bro, like you were. So I just do it anyways. And like try about like I just figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of times I just end up making it worse. And like, why you just didn't ask? I don't
You want to ask step 3. You want to be like, I know step 1, I know step 2. Wait a second, was step 3 this or was it this? You know?
I'm just gonna figure it out.
You gonna create step 3 yourself.
I'm so afraid to ask because I didn't want to come off as like, not as intelligent. I always want to do something like I'm perfect in everything I do and say. I'm like, man, like that's such a burden to have on you too, man. I feel like you gotta be perfect. It's wrong all the time. That's a tough thing to do, man. 24/7 to just be on. Like this is like you just flexing 24/7, bro. Like your body is not made for that. Your mind is not made to want to be perfect. Like it's okay to strive for excellence, try to be perfect, but mess up, and that's okay. We all human beings.
And like with that vulnerability goes back to like, in some areas we like, we good. Some areas we know we got a lot of knowledge on, but some areas, we don't have a lot of experience in them, you know what I'm saying? Compared to other people. And I think that's how it is in life in general. Like that creates that's like a lot of people have different experiences. For some people, the things that you might have a question about, they may not have no questions about because they like have been raised around, they've been doing their whole life. And then for them, some of the things that we do, they might be like, yo, like how they did that? Like how they know how to do this, at this age? It's because like, it looks totally different. So being vulnerable in different ways, I mean, it can be some of the simplest things, like I said, like not knowing how to cut grass, but some of the things where so that vulnerability goes to like expressing yourself about your emotion, expressing yourself about, about your past, about things that have happened to you. And like, that's a part of like moving forward is, being vulnerable. Because you can't move forward, like we said earlier, unless you actually take the steps you need to take to do it. And that's by being vulnerable.
Exactly.
And acceptance.
Acceptance, right? That's the key. That's what this all lead to. You know what I mean? You be open and vulnerable so you can eventually accept. And then you can eventually work on it. Mm-hmm. But the key is open yourself up. You got to open the wound first if you want to let it heal, and then you can, repair it and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
That's key, man. I feel like a lot of people don't have people in their lives that allow them to be vulnerable. So I feel like you're not able to be vulnerable in your life. That's even tougher to be vulnerable with yourself. You know what I mean? Because you feel like they probably don't like me anymore if I do this or tell them this. They don't look down on me or see me in a certain light. And, that's tough, man. Not having people that you feel like you can rely on to open like, dude, I'm dealing with this right now. I just feel broken by this, or, I had this such and such or whatever, man. Just having those people you can rely on.
That community, like we said last week, that community.
Yeah,
that welcoming community. That community that's like, yo, come as you are. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you guys, tell me your flaws. Tell me what's going on. And they just like, okay. Well, that used to be a flaw like mine too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I learned too. Like you start talking to people, you realize, damn, like I'm not the only person going through this. Like your mind, like I'm the only person to deal with this crowd, man. Everybody else can speak well in public, man. And everybody else got anxiety, depression. It's just me. I'm just weird, crazy.
Yeah.
And you start talking to people, like, man, you go through that too. I wouldn't even notice because again, we can't read minds, so we feel like for some reason we feel like people can read our minds and see our faults and stuff, and we can't see theirs. But it's the same thing. They can't see us, and we can't see theirs. They just see the person we portraying. So you start actually talking to people, getting to know people, understand like, damn, like there's a lot of people out there going through similar things than I am, and it doesn't make them. I don't see them as any worse for going through it. Why should I be hard on myself?
You shouldn't be hard on yourself at all, because like I think just in general, like it always goes back to this thing. I always think about it, like I was driving early this morning. I was like, yo, we all people, we all humans. We all a child, we all come from, we all have the same savior. We all have the same, same life as far as we all humans. Like we all have different stories, different ways of upbringing, things like that. But at the end of the day, like we all have emotions. We all are happy. We all are sad. We have all those same things. So being able to understand, I think that the biggest thing, like you said, being part of the vulnerability is being able to understand that we all are human. And that comes with having that humility. That comes with having that, that humility, but also it comes with just being, being you, and just being, authentic. And a part of that is, authentic. Some people don't want to do that. But if you're authentic with others, you can be authentic with yourself. It makes a big difference, bro. It really does.
Like I said earlier, this is like a huge weight lifted, man. When you're able to just be authentic with yourself and to be like, okay, like I accept myself, all my flaws, freaking all that, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's such a huge burden. You feel like you don't have to act a part or role to be accepted. Because I already accept myself. I don't need you to accept me. It's cool if you do. but I accept me already, so I don't need that. I know if I feel like a big thing for a lot of people, especially myself growing up, is that need for approval, like external validation.
Bro, that was the biggest thing.
To feel good about yourself, man. I used to do that so much, man. It used to be like subconsciously. I didn't realize I was doing it, but like I would like, kind of switch up how I would talk and act around certain people. Kind of like, I want to see me talking like, oh, you talk white, you sound white. Or, you know what I mean? Like you get around like black people, kind of switch up a little bit. Around other people. Like, I used to do it all the time subconsciously. Like, damn, why am I doing this? I didn't realize I was doing it until I sat back.
It's like
why am I like, you have a thought, you want to say something, like, I want to say it like that. So, you know what I mean? I won't say it because it'll come off a certain way. But, like, damn, why didn't I say that? Why did I just speak freely? Why did I have to censor myself in a way? You know what I mean? Because
you live, like, because you, like you said, like, because you live, like, during that time, at a younger age, like, you living for others, you're not living for yourself. Yeah. And so you kind of just changing who you are. And it's so crazy because I remember, like, one of the first things we became friends, I mean, we like listened to the same type of music. And I'm like, what? Wait a second. You listen to like The Fray? You know what I'm saying? And you like, yeah. I mean, but that's just like, to me, I was like, bro, that's cool. Like, you can just be yourself. Because that's a part of it. Like, I feel like, if you can come as you are, most society might be like, oh, no. He really just came like, as he is. But like those who are truly, a welcome community, like, yo, like I'm happy you just came as you are because I'm accepting that. And also, that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? And we have so much in common because of that,
Exactly. That's how you find people in your life. You actually find genuine people in your life, true friends. And just be yourself. Because then you're not bringing people that's not even, you don't even like or that's not really how you are in your life. Yeah. You put it on a roll, you start attracting people of that role. Once y'all be like, I don't like you like this because this is not who I am. So I don't want to be around you because I don't like that part of me. You know what I mean? But I feel like I really like what you said about authentically. That's being the coolest thing, being authentic. Because I feel like that's the definition of cool. Somebody say, "Oh, you cool?" To me, that means when I say that, somebody means you authentic. I mean, you just yourself. Like you don't care about what nobody says about you or think about you. Just being yourself. You know what I mean? And I feel like as I got older, I came to realize that like it's not about putting on the act and acting a certain way. It's just about being you and being unapologetic.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny that you say because I think as you get older, that's what it becomes. Like you become an authentic you because like you're not around those, those social groups. You're not around those individuals that you were on like a team or when you was in school and stuff. Yeah. It's totally different. Like as you older, you're around like really yourself to be able to learn yourself more and you choose who you want to be around. Compared to when we was in school, like, I'm around everybody, so I got
you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
You gotta see each other every day, man. Like, I don't like these people, man. I used to hate that was a lot, man.
Oh yeah, especially in high school. You remember?
I like these things. None of these do. I hate these. You said you to pick and choose you have in your life, man. That's such a good thing too, man. Like you don't have to have negative people in your life anymore. Like you have somebody that won't accept you, that's cool. You don't have to. I'm not gonna associate myself with you.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny because that's like when you're like on the team and stuff. Like as you get older, it looks totally different. Because like high school, like we was on the team and we had guys that's like totally opposite of us. And I'm like, bro, I can't be around these type of dudes.
You have a conversation with them. Y'all just see like totally different. Like,
it's like they say something crazy. Like, bro, you really just said that? Like, what the word?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You don't want to be around. You want to talk to them or nothing, man. That kind of for me. That was kind of it isolates you too, man. You ain't really around the right people. You like having the right people. Like feel isolated. You feel like damn, I can't really be myself, or by myself they want to accept me. But
So basically, like we were saying, bro, just like come as you are. Like come as you are. Like be vulnerable. If it's the simple things, hard things, like I think that's the thing about it. Just come who you are. I mean, come as you are. Don't even think about it. At the end of the day, I'm saying being you will allow you to like meet somebody who accepts you for you, and that starts like we said a couple of last podcasts. Just like your community is a big piece. Like if you got a community that accepts you for who you are, bro, you start to flourish and do so many great things.
Because you ain't wasting mental energy trying to control your thoughts and action. Like you try to, let's say this thing I can add. Like you ain't worried about it. Like you say, you just doing it yourself.
You ain't got to be an actor.
Focus energy on being better. You know what I mean? Focus on your craft, the things you like, your goals in life. You ain't trying to sit here and think, can't say this, or let me think, should I say this right now? Should I do this? Stupid, like
he started moving like a robot or something.
natural freak is like, I know I'm not worried about that. I'm
Yeah.
focused on the things I'm trying to obtain in my life.
Oh yeah. So definitely just I always think about this right here. Say, actors act, you just be you. An actor acts, you just be you.
Exactly. You just be you. Like,
Actors get paid to act.
I'm not getting paid to try to put on the front of nobody.
They're a whole different character.
Like focus on the stuff that's going to improve your life, man, not detract from your joy. You know. So,
You're right.
Man, and I feel like that really leads into the next tech topic I want to hit on too, man. Being present. I feel like once you're able to be authentically you, you're able to be in the present moment. Like I said, because you're not overthinking things. You're not worried about the future because you're not thinking like, damn, I say this, such a going to happen. Or remember that time back in the day when this happened, I acted this way. When you being authentically yourself, you're able to be present in the moment. And I feel like that's the key to joy, right? That people say, man, how you attain happiness? How you attain joy? Being present, being just in the present moment and enjoying the present moment and not worried about what's going to happen in the next 5, 10 minutes or 10 days or what happened before. You just like, none of that matters. I'm just going to focus on today, live today like it's my last day. Not like you're finna go crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I need time.
I'm gonna enjoy being around my people, my family. I'm gonna enjoy being around my daughter. I'm gonna enjoy this walk in the park. I'm gonna enjoy this meal I'm having right now. It could be my last meal. You know, you're not doing it in a depressing way. You're doing it in a way to acknowledge that we're all human. And I'm not God. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I know He's blessed me with this moment. I'm gonna take advantage of this moment and be my best self.
I think about being like you said, being your best self and being present is like, you know, when you're actually present, like I always think like when you're not present, your mind goes like 1,000,000 miles a minute. Like it's all over the place, you know? But when you actually present, it just feel like you like everything around you don't even matter. You like this. It's like looking straight. And everything around you, the same stuff when you was like your mind was going 1,000 miles per minute, but when you actually like present, it looks totally different. I think it's because, like you said, like if you can actually take in everything that's right in front of you, it makes you feel so much better. You know what I'm saying? Compared to when you like taking in everything that's far away from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like the things that's further away from you, constantly like thinking about it. Like you constantly like thinking like it's gonna happen. Like you want it to happen tomorrow. And then like that, when your mind is going like that, it's just like you can't even focus on the present, but you also can't focus on like what you have. That's going to the next thing, but I'm gonna keep it right there. You can't focus on what you have, but you can't focus on who you currently are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And who you currently are and what's currently happening during that time. Yeah. Which is something as simple as breathing. You know what I'm saying? You take a deep breath. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely take a deep breath.
Like it's something we don't think about, because you're not present in the moment. You're not thinking about it.
Take a deep breath. I'm breathing. Yeah, but that's real. Or just like you said, being able to spend time with your family, being able to spend time with your daughter, and actually like taking in what they're saying. So like if it's those small little moments that lead to something bigger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what being present. Once you focus on smaller moments, then you can really we go back to like understand yourself. You can understand yourself, but basically you can understand your surroundings. You can understand people a lot more. You can understand yourself a lot more. Yeah. You can understand what's happening a lot more. I mean, I've seen things before. It was so crazy. And I'm just going to be honest. Don't be real transparent. Just honest. I remember at one time I was dealing with like depression real bad. And I was like, I was like doing something, right? I think I was driving something. I was driving. And like, I was in a whole different world. My wife just looking at me. She's like, "You good?" I said, "What you mean?" She's like, "You're not present. Like you thinking about somewhere now. What are you thinking about?" I was thinking about 10 years from now, 5 years from now. I don't know. I was thinking about something like this far away, but I was stressing myself out to the point where I couldn't even, it might have been a vacation or something. I couldn't even focus on that vacation or what was actually happening because I wasn't present.
That's crazy, man. And the thing, where anxiety comes from, man, what it all stems from, it stems from fear. But that fear comes from feeling like you have a lack of control over something. You know, when you sit, like you said, you start, oh man, I started thinking about the future. I started stressing out. Why? Because you can't control the future. But and that's because the future's not here right now. You're not in that future yet. You worry about stuff you have no control over. I feel like for me, that's where my anxiety comes from. Like, I'm worried about things I have no control over or I can't change at the moment. But I'm like, I'm still trying. I'm like, I want to change it. Like I feel like I need to. I want to make sure it's exactly how I want it to be. But I feel like I can't realize, man, if you really want to be present and really want to be at peace with your surroundings and things that are going on in your life, man, you got to just accept, like, I can't control everything. But the things I can control, my perspective, my emotions, my thoughts, my actions, if I can worry about that, that's going to keep you present. Those are all things that's happening right now at this moment. I mean, you having this conversation. I'm focusing on what you're saying and focusing on what I'm saying. I'm not focusing on what I'm going to say 10 minutes from now or what we just talked about. You know, I'm focusing on I'm being present. So it allows me to be the best. What I'm trying to say, it allows me to really enjoy what we do, just the conversation. When the conversation. That's why I feel like that's what I said. Like being present is the key to joyfulness because you're able to really enjoy what's going on right now at this current moment.
And it also just lets you just, you know, I always say like elementary, but it allows you to kind of be able to have those five, you know, those senses that we have, the senses. I think it's the five senses, being able to just take in those five senses. I know it's elementary, but when you're present, you can feel, taste, you know, all those things, and you can actually, it's like you're actually there compared to when you're thinking about so many other things that you like. I think the best example of this, like, of that is just like when you go on a vacation or something, you know, when people are constantly working and things like that, or even just, you know, at home or like just scrolling or whatever, it's just like you're not present. So then you're not even seeing the things around. I know we had talked about nature, but you can literally be in nature, have all these great things happen around you, but you're not even seeing it because you're not present there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can't, you know, have those five senses because you're not even in tune with the five senses because you're so messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You're too busy worried about something else instead of being in nature. So you can't even reap the benefits of being in nature, which I feel like is very healing for your mind and your body and spiritually too. Just being in what God has created, just seeing this for His natural beauty.
Yeah, you're right.
I kept saying what you were saying was elementary, but I feel like the best things in life are simple. But we overcome.
Like 10 times harder,
man. For like, you know, take love for example. It's really simple to love. You know, it's a very easy, natural thing for us to do, but we overcomplicate it and we kind of distort it from what God intended it to be. It's a simple act of empathy and compassion for somebody else other than yourself. Yeah, we kind of twist and turn it, try to shape it to our own views and our own definition of it, and we kind of that's when we strip away the joy from it, man. Like that's why I feel like, you know, keeping things simple is a good way to go, man. Don't overcomplicate things. Just, you know, let things transpire as they go, man, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I heard this song one time I listen to all the time. My little girl be singing too. It's by I think Terrence Riley. It's called Simple Things. You know, simple things are your blessings. Simple things are your blessings, your blessings. And so I'm like, anytime I hear that song, I'm like, yo, you're right. I mean, all this stuff around you, like all this stuff that we give, you know, so much power, you know, don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, once you're gone, like none of this stuff means nothing. But the simple things are a blessing. Being able to wake up is your blessing. Being able to smell is your blessing. Being able to touch is your blessing. All those different things are blessings that we take for, you know, so many people take for granted. That so many people like don't even have. So to really take those things in is a big thing, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we just getting so much better at being podcasters. That's
a
very smooth transition to our last topic of the day, man. Gratitude. When you start doing that, what you talking about right there, just acknowledging everything that's going around you that's can be blessings for you. That's when you be grateful. Like, damn, I am alive today. I am breathing today. I do have a car with gas in the tank, man. I do have food with my friend. I do have a job. I do have people around me that care about me. But when you're not present, you're not able to practice that gratitude, man. It's hard for you to be grateful for stuff when you worry about the future. You worry about the past, you know what I mean? But that gratitude, man, that's key. That's the key to life itself, man. Like, because you have anything going on, you can lose your job, your wife, your house, whatever. But if you're grateful just for whatever God's giving you in that moment, man, it don't matter. You happy. You have peace with yourself.
You're right, and it's so crazy because like it's some people out there who really practice that. That really practice that gratitude. But there's some people out there. I mean, majority of the world don't practice gratitude. Majority of the world, I want this. Like they lose something, they want this. They lose $20, they want $200. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like just be thankful for those small things. But there's some people that I see like in the world who practice that gratitude. It's, to other people, like when you start to practice that gratitude, to other people you seem crazy. They're like, "Are you crazy? Like what? You just lost this and that." Like, yo, I'm just thankful.
Yeah.
They're like, "What you thankful for?" I'm like, "Thankful."
Man, they be the happiest and the happiest people. You see them going like, you ever heard about the people that like be diagnosed with cancer or have you told by a doctor you only have like a year to live or something, but they still grateful just to have the time they have left. They living life to the fullest. You're like, damn, how are you just got told you got cancer, man? Why are you smiling? Why are you grateful? What are you grateful? You have nothing to be grateful about.
Yeah,
but
you right about
understand, like, every day's not given, you know what I mean? And they just gonna enjoy the time they have left and make the most of it. And I feel like we kind of get away from that because we don't really want to acknowledge our mortality. And you kind of tell us, okay, one day I will die.
Yeah.
Like I say, everything doesn't last forever. Everything all the money I have, income, all that stuff I gain in life is gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna go bye one day, man. And I said, go bye. And I'm gonna end up.
Yo, bye-bye.
I was trying to say something else, and then it came out. Keep going. All that is gonna disappear one day, and then you will disappear one day.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Once you start having that conversation with yourself like that, like, okay, eventually all this stuff I'm going to is going to pass, it's going to fade away. Why be so transfixed and focused on a certain outcome or a certain thing that I know I can't control? Just be happy and present for the time I do have.
Yeah.
And it's such a calmness and peace with life, man. You just have that gratitude for, even if it's a job you don't like, just be happy you got a job. Some people don't.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think that's the thing about it. I have wrote something down said, how do you not get bored personally and professionally? Like, and I think that goes back to having that gratitude. If you have that gratitude, how can you like change that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're thankful for something, you like, yo, like, this is, I don't really like this job. And it's like, figure out how you can make it beneficial for you. You know what I'm saying? How can you use the things of your job? So if it's a flexibility or anything that comes with that job, use the things that's allowing you to do now to actually enjoy, to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think what happens is, when you start, those things kind of like start to take control, it's like you lose that gratitude because at one point you did have gratitude for it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, right? Yeah. But I think as time goes on, like you start to lose that gratitude for it. Yeah, that's what you get complacent. Like, oh, like, man, I want something else now, which is like cool. But take what you have from that. So if it's like, for example, give you that flexibility to be able to go to school or do something. It's like just use that right now. It's allowing you to do all these different things. It's allowing you to spend more time with family. It's allowing you to, go back to school. It's allowing you to, learn yourself more. Yep. Take those things, you know what I'm saying? And then like, personally, if those are things that, you're not, that are like tearing you down, like be, be thankful for, it's crazy. I heard this thing right now, right? It's crazy. I know it's about to sound crazy, but I heard this say, be thankful for what's happening in your life. And it sounds crazy because like, you should be thankful for life. So be thankful that, like, for example, I want to do it something. Be thankful that you failed the test and like in the class. Why? Because at least you're in school. You know what I'm saying? Man,
I was about to add on. Silver lining in every single thing, man. We just depends on your perspective. You know what I mean? Like you could say you lost your job today. Damn, that would suck. But if you took it as, man, that job, I gained a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. I can take it and you give me a better job, or I'm still alive. You know what I mean? Like you're able to find a silver lining. It's it's a positive in every negative, man.
Positive, yeah.
God kind of even things out. He'll throw you a curveball. Like you said, they close one door, he open another one. It's for you to have that perspective to see the silver lining and everything. Just like you ever been in a bad relationship, man, and you just ended it, but like, damn, I ain't wanted it to end. But then you start looking back like, damn, I'm kind of glad it ended. It wasn't good for me. I wasn't happy. Now I can move forward and find somebody better for me.
Yeah. You're right about that.
It always sits in like a negative because it hurts you. You love the person, yada, yada, yada. But as you really think about it, it was actually a positive for you because you're able to move on with your life and find somebody that fits you better.
Yeah. And right, and that's a part of life. It's just like being able to have practice, that gratitude. Because like I said, if you never if you constantly like, oh, like why me, why me, why me, just like be thankful.
Yeah.
The Lord's like, once you see that thankful, the Lord's like, hey, he went through this, he was thankful. I'm gonna give him something, I'm gonna give him something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like, I've seen before where like people like trying to see, but like certain like I'm trying to like certain careers, even just anything in general. Somebody lose something that's that was like that meant so much to them, and then they get something like better. You know what I'm saying? Or like you lose a job that was that you really enjoy, but then you get a job that's even better. Or the skills that you got from that job allows you to get a better job than that job before. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Bro, that's I feel like that's just a key to faith. That just shows out your faith to God. Like you said, like God see like he throw your curveball, he see how you handle you, like you still grateful. He's like, okay, I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna bless that situation for you because I saw your faith in this situation. You believed in me.
Yeah.
You saw my plan. You wasn't focused on how you wanted things to go. You had faith in what I was doing in your life. So now I can use this blessing I have for you. Now I can get a better job, that better relationship, that car you wanted. But before I could do that, because one, you wasn't grateful.
You wasn't.
I had to see where your faith was. I had to make sure you had that strong faith that you would need to handle this thing I'm gonna give to you.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that. I heard one thing one time. It was funny. This dude was like, I seen like on YouTube or something. And he was like pumping gas. He's like, look at these prices. Y'all see these prices? These prices are sky high. But he said, I'm not gonna be mad at these prices high because he says God has blessed me to be able to pay these prices.
Man, that's like that's your perspective. Everything I tell myself all the time. I go to the grocery store like, damn, I just spent like $60. I ain't buying nothing. Thank God I had the money to do that. Thank God I'm able to come here and buy groceries. You know what I mean? Like, dang, I really want to go home today. I don't feel like being there. Thank God I have a job, though. God, just thank you for allowing me to have a career. Be able to take care of myself, man. Just like simple things like that. Like, be able to have toothpaste in your bathroom, you brush your teeth. Simple things like that. You know what I mean? You start being grateful for the little things you have in life, man. It makes the bigger things, your successes and your wins feel that much sweeter. You're like, dang, like, you know what it took to get there, and you're just so much more appreciative of it.
Yeah, and I like to think of like this, bro. Like anytime I think about it, I was thinking about it earlier while I work because my job was big on just like being able to provide to show like exposing the kids to like better opportunities that allow them to change their lives, for the future. And I was thinking about her. I was like, I used to be one of those kids. The things that I have now, I never thought that I would have. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm thankful for these things that I have. I'm thankful for all this stuff that's around me because as a kid, I'm like, yo, I never thought I would have, you know what I'm saying? I never thought I would have these things. Something even simple as like having your own car, you know what I'm saying? Having your own phone. I remember one time when I was, growing up, I ain't had no phone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These kids got iPhones, everything nowadays. Like, even like for our daughters to have the things that we never had, you know what I'm saying? So, like, to the point, like, if we have gratitude and we're thankful for these things, it allows them to be able to see, like, oh, my daddy is, thankful for this. I should be thankful for this. My daddy said if I should be thankful for what I have right now. So if I am thankful for this, then I'll get something else, so I can be thankful for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a gratitude is a learned behavior. I like that point as you pointed out, like we need to teach the youth about that lesson of being grateful for things. You see a lot of spoiled little kids that have like, I always want more and more and more and more and more. But then like got all these toys over there, you want a new toy. You want to play with the toys you got. You're not grateful for that. Why would I buy you more stuff so you can play with it and then forget about it 5 minutes later? You know what I mean? I feel like that will help them later on in life when they start going through things where they, they having obstacles and challenges. They're able to have that faith in themselves and God to keep moving forward because they're grateful just for like what they have right now. You know what I mean? That helps a lot, man. You're going through stuff, you're able to reflect and just be happy that you have whatever it is that you have. Like it makes it easier for you to get through that because then now you don't really focus on that negative. You're able to focus on the positive.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. And I think as we get older, it's just looking at how far you've come in life. Yeah. That's gratefulness. Bro, I came from this to this to this to this to this to this. You know what I'm saying? I came from a Grand Marquis to a Range Rover to Mercedes Benz. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm driving, but you know what I'm saying?
Right, I know what's but that's the goal though. That's what we're working towards in that Range Rover.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's like like I know, like we talk about, we always talk about, like, man, like, a lot of times we kind of worry about like our future because we feel like, we're not where we want to be right now. Like, you look back in your past, like, dang, like, look where I came from, look where I'm at right now, like, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a college graduate, man. I have a good job, a good career. I have a home. I have a car. I'm taking care of myself. I'm self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient, yeah.
Nobody but me, to take care of all my bills, If you start, like, really breaking down all the stuff that you have been doing, like patting yourself on the back and going over all the wins you do have in your life, like, okay, you're not as focused and worried about the future because, on the path, look, if I got from where I'm at now, then eventually I'm going to get to where I want to be. Like, what's stopping me from doing that? All I got to do is keep moving forward like I've always been doing.
Yeah. I always think like this, sir. I always tell people, like, be that little dude. I know I keep always going back to, like, this and that, but be that little dude that your younger self could look up to. And if that's what you're working towards, then you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where the vulnerability piece come back in, man. You being open with yourself, then you be able to go back and release, have that self-reflection and go back to your past self and say, dang, like, I did come from that. I did. Yeah. I'm my way out of there somehow. I did achieve the goals I did have for myself at that time period of my life. And you're able to be present in the moment now because you're like, okay, look what I did. Look at all the things I have, all the things that I can do, and then that leads to gratitude. Then you're able to be grateful for those things, and that gives you a positive, joyful, peaceful mindset, man. And that's how you have a joyful life, and that's how you really get success. I feel like that's what the success I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's the right success.
Positive mindset. I don't care about money. I don't care about accolades, fame. I know all that stuff will come once I get that mindset. Yeah, I'm really focused on having that because that's going to give me the life I want to have, the life I want to give to others.
You're right about that. Definitely. I want to say real quick, Trey, I know we had talked earlier, but I had that one song that I was telling you about, and then we was just talking about that vulnerability, the vulnerability piece. I just want to kind of say the lyrics real quick, and it's by, I can't even think their name, Evan and Iris. And basically the song's called People. And it says, so basically what the song was saying, how the world needs to come together through Christ's love. We need his healing in the world we live in today. And basically what it's saying is like, we need his healing in the world we live in today. It's like coming to him and being vulnerable. Like, I can't make it on my own. Like, you kind of saying, like, I'm going through this. And the song is like, and God is saying, like, I know you tried. It's like, so he's going like God. And then like, basically like, God's like, I'm going to heal again. I know you tried. Like, same as that thing, you go through something else. I know you tried, but God, I'm going to heal again. And basically that's like the chorus of the song. It basically is saying like, coming to Christ to let, Christ like help us, be vulnerable. Help us overcome that vulnerability. Help us overcome, any of those things that, if we don't have that gratitude, helping us overcome, not being, thankful for something and realizing the gratitude that we do have by letting the Lord kind of show you like, this is what you have. Stop looking at this. This is what you have. I'm going to teach you gratitude. If you don't know gratitude, if you hadn't learned when you was young, I want you to be vulnerable to understand what gratitude is. So then you can live with gratitude. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing.
Yeah, bro. That's big, man. I really like that. I really like the lyrics you brought up, man, because I feel like that's when you gain true resiliency in life, man, having that faith in God and that relationship with him. Because then you're able to put your burdens and your struggles on him and not on yourself. And that allows you to bounce back quicker than if you as a flawed human being trying to handle the weight of your whole world by yourself. It's hard to do. But I feel like something I really want to touch on next week, man, or whenever we have our next episode, resiliency, just how like that looks as a Christian, but also as a black man, how are we able to be more resilient in life and handle what life throws at us?
Yeah, definitely, bro. And I just want to be able to talk about, like, even next week, we would talk about just being able to be understanding ourselves, so understand ourselves even more, going more into that, understanding ourselves. Yeah. And by doing so, we can help the world understand us as black male, and, that's a big piece of just, as life, we want to be understood, but we also want to be able to share with the world how amazing we are. And so much that we bring to the world, which we know we bring a lot to the world, but we want to share with them, so definitely.
I'm glad you said that, man. That's key to life, man. That's all we looking for, to be understood. That's all everybody want. Your daughter, my daughter, everybody you ever met, they just want to be understood. Man. They just want to be, look at me, see me. I'm a human being. Like, that was my, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like I said, that's the key, man. To being understood is allowing yourself to, you know, be vulnerable, be present, and be grateful. So,
and like you say, like my last thing I'm gonna say is right here, but like we all human beings. I remember Maya Angelou. I'm a big Maya Angelou fan. She said, I am a human being. She said, say it to yourself, I am a human being. And like I think I said it last week when I was getting a massage or whatever. Yeah. But what she said basically, she was saying, like, I'm a human being. If you think that you understand that you're a human being, you understand that everyone around you are human beings, that you could be a rainbow in somebody else's clouds. So if someone is going through something, you could be a rainbow in their life, and you can allow them to be vulnerable. So then you can help. You could be that rainbow in their life, which is, you know, in their cloud, which is what they're going through. So definitely,
that's real. I like that. She's a amazing right. She was amazing writer, man. I love a lot of her poems and books and stuff too, man. She's very talented. I wish we had more people that thought like that in life, man. We all flawed people, you know. Like, we all just trying to make it. We just try to do our best to make it in this world, you know. And I feel that help with a lot of division and animosity and tension we have towards people, because when you start looking at people as people, then it's easier to demonize them and cast them aside and treat them wrong, because, you know, you don't see them as people anymore.
You're right. But definitely, bro. Like I said, I really enjoyed this podcast. It was amazing, man. Great.
I love doing this, man. I love just being able to talk with my best friend, man, and just talk about life, talk about whatever we have in our minds. That week, man, it's really cathartic for me, man, to get out all the stuff you have going on in your brain. And, it's just like you said, man. Like, I feel like this helps us be vulnerable and present and grateful, because we just being open, man. We just being ourselves, and I enjoy it, bro. I really do. Yeah,
I enjoy it too, bro. And it's funny because you say, like, I enjoy, like, how far we've come. You know, how far we've come as coming from boys to man, and continue to grow as fathers, continue to grow as individuals, continue to grow as brothers, you know. And I think that's the joy of this podcast. Like we said, when we did this when we started this podcast, we're doing it to be a space that we are able to be vulnerable, a space we're able to be our true selves, and just being able to have a platform to do that. It's truly a blessing. So that's how I say I enjoy it, man.
I do
get so much joy.
I was excited to do it today, because I feel like it's just something I feel like something cool and unique that we have ownership of. You know, nobody is telling us what to say, how to say it, what to talk about. Like, it's us. It's our creation, man. It's a cool thing to have.
It's our silent switch.
Man, it's ours, man. That's why I said that we had to keep it name. That's our trademark, silent switch.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else out there got this.
No, not at all. So man, definitely,
bro. Like, I enjoyed this conversation, man. Hopefully Sam can be back next week with us, man. We have the trio back together, but if not, man, we'll keep pushing, man. We're gonna be consistent with this, you know. I know we fell off the last time, man, but the last time was the last time. We pressed here. From here on out, we be consistent, man. Every single week, we'll try to knock out another new episode.
Definitely. So, like we said before, like at the end of the podcast, what turns your switch on? If that's family, if that's opportunities, whatever it is, what turns your switch on to get closer to God? Just find out what that is. What are you trying to take from? What are you trying to give? What are you trying to do to help you become a better individual, a better human being, or whatever you're trying to become better at? Just find that thing and just turn the switch on. So I definitely, like I said, bro, this podcast is amazing. Hopefully get Sam back, like you said, Trey. Hey, Sam, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? That accountability, you know what I'm saying? I text him like 10 times, so
that's all. We all busy, man. We all grind. Yeah. Hey, like I said, we want to be consistent, and I feel like being consistent with this helps you be consistent and disciplined in other areas of your life. You know, if we can take out an hour and a half of our day to do this each week, then we can take out an hour to pray, or 30 minutes to pray, or some time to go to the gym, or whatever it is. So I said it's a blessing, man, to be able to do this, bro. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you hopping on today and doing this, bro. And man, I'm gonna end it here, man. Like and subscribe.
Y'all tuned in.
YouTube. Again, I'm your host, Latrell. This was Julian.
Yes, sir. All right.